All right, welcome back to the party, everybody. I am your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. How's everybody doing today? Howdy, howdy. If you would do me a huge favor, hit that like and subscribe. Guys, you know I would do it for you. Let's party. So, as you guys know, Donald Trump was at the Libertarian Party National Convention giving his speech last night. And I think it went pretty well. I mean, I've definitely seen a lot of people clipping out momentary parts where the crowd is booing, and which you would expect at the Libertarian convention. They hate everything that's not straight up, libertarian anarchy. But I think he did a really good job. I think he was strong in his messaging. I think, by calling out the Libertarian Party, be like, hey, you can poll at 3% or you can go with me. I think that was a ballsy move. So we are going to check that out in full. If you want to watch it without my commentary, the link is in the description of this video. Shout out to Forbes. Hopefully they will not copyright claim this. But as always, if you cannot hear the video, please do let me know. Speed it up a little bit. Where at least I know I'm free. All right. Johnny
Thank
boy.
you very much, everybody, and thank you, Angela, for that introduction. And I am truly honored to be invited here tonight as the first president in American history to address the Libertarian National Convention. Great honor. A lot of people ask why I came to speak at this Libertarian convention, and it's an interesting question, isn't it? But we're gonna have a lot of fun. Well, in the last year, I've been indicted by the government on 91 different things. So if I wasn't a libertarian before, I sure as hell am a libertarian now.
You can definitely see it. Yeah, I mean, even if it wasn't libertarian before, I can see now. I see the light. The government has a little bit too much power.
And unlike Joe Biden, I don't throw people in jail for disagreeing with me. I don't do that. I want to thank some people.
Even though you remember one of the first Donald Trump chants. What was it? Lock her up. Lock her up. And you remember how horrible they treated him and anybody who would say, lock her up. But guess what? Hillary Clinton actually is a felon. Donald Trump is just Donald Trump.
That have been really outstanding, and they are great libertarians and great people. Ambassador Rick Grinnell, Senator Mike Lee, Kash Patel,
shout out to Kash,
and Senate candidate who's going to win from Virginia, Hung Cao. I also want to pay our deepest respects to the two young missionaries from Missouri, Davy and Natalie Lloyd, that were viciously killed yesterday in Haiti. It was a horrible thing, and I just want to pay our respects to their families. They're great families, incredible people, and it's a very, very sad moment. What happened was so horrible. So to Davy and Natalie, please, thank you very much.
Boy, real starting on an upper, I guess. All right. Maybe it's better to get that out of the way.
I'd also like to express my gratitude to all the fierce champions of freedom in this room. You are champions of freedom. You are there. And I'm here to talk to you about the rise of left-wing fascism in the country and to need to defeat the corrupt and incompetent tyrant in the White House, crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of the United States. He is the worst president by far in the history of the United States. In fact, I would say that Jimmy Carter is very happy tonight because he goes down as being a brilliant president by comparison.
That's all my life. All my life, I've heard Jimmy Carter was the worst president ever. You can't really argue. There's no argument anymore.
Everyone here tonight believes that we must fight for the same fundamental freedoms: freedom of expression, freedom of religion, freedom of the right to own a firearm, and freedom over taxation.
Freedom over taxation or freedom from taxation? That would have been a little bit, but just nitpicking there,
to own a firearm and freedom over taxation. Oh.
Okay. He said
Oh,
it.
that was interesting. Then you're going to like me, firearm. You're going to like me. Nobody better than me. And we just got the full NRA, the strongest endorsement they've ever given the NRA. So that's good.
So interesting. They're booing at the NRA. And so again, I am not a capital L libertarian, so I don't necessarily know what the position on things like that. But if I had to guess, the Libertarian Party wouldn't be for the NRA directly because it kind of creates a middleman. And I think the libertarian mindset is always about the least amount of bureaucracy and like it doesn't have to go through the NRA to mean something. But I'm not quite sure if you guys know why they're booing at the NRA. They cheered for the firearms, but they do not like the NRA.
Well, NRA, the strongest endorsement they've ever given the NRA. So that's good. Freedom from overregulation, freedom from government discrimination. And we believe that we do not have a free country if we do not have free speech, and very strongly believe that. We stand opposed to government tyranny in all of its many forms. We are opposed to a government that spies on political campaigns. I wonder who that might be. Like they did on me, spies on the American people, censors us, and crushes the rights of its own citizens, which the Biden administration does. We want government out of our business, out of our wallets, and out of our lives. That's what we want. We believe that Marxism is an evil doctrine straight from the ashes of hell.
Straight from the ashes of hell. Welcome, 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 Harley Rose. Very, very glad to see ya. How are you doing? Did you watch this already, or have you not seen it yet?
Marxism in our government is intolerable, and teaching it to our children is considered to us child abuse.
Facts.
We believe that the job of the United States military is not to wage endless regime change wars around the globe, senseless wars. The job of the United States military is to defend America from attack and invasion here at home.
Exactly. So when he's talking about military stuff, that's probably the biggest thing with the libertarians. No new wars. So he does have it in his back pocket that he didn't start any new wars. But the fact that Biden did start wars and there's wars happening, I don't, Trump is definitely going to be in favor of supporting Israel. And I don't think he's not in favor of supporting Ukraine, but I'd like to know what the average libertarian thinks when they hear that.
States military is to defend America from attack and invasion here at home. We believe that property rights are fundamental to a free society and that Joe Biden's rampant inflation is a monstrous theft from the American people. It's a theft. We believe that the greatest threat to our country is not from enemies abroad. It's the tyrants, communists, fascists, and thugs attacking our rights and liberties from within.
And all the right things so far.
We live by the words of the great American patriot, Patrick Henry, give me liberty or give me death.
Let's go, let's go.
Our rights and freedoms have never been more in danger than they are right now. That is why I have come to extend a hand of friendship to ask for your partnership to defeat communism, defeat Marxism, and defeat crooked Joe Biden, who is destroying our country. He's destroying our country.
It is true. Fair enough. But so now when I hear that, I'm like, okay, I'm with you. I want to stop that. How? What are you going to do? That is what I need to hear. What are you going to do?
We can be libertarian or anything else. This man is destroying our country.
What are they chanting? Does anybody know what they're chanting?
Thank you.
You can't know.
And by the way, why isn't Joe Biden here speaking to you tonight? You know why?
We want Trump. We want Trump. We want Trump. Woo! Indeed, we do. You got a good ear. You got a good ear. God damn.
And by the way, Why isn't Joe Biden here speaking to you tonight?
He's
You know
sleeping.
Why isn't he? Because he can't put two sentences together. That's why he's not here. The fact is, we should not be fighting each other. If Joe Biden gets back in, there will be no more liberty for anyone in our country. Combine with us in a partnership. We're asking that of the libertarians. We must work together. Combine with us. You have to combine with us.
Okay. But again, what is it that you're going to do? So far, you're just saying, they're bad, I'm good, so vote for me. Specifically with the libertarians, you're going to need to give a little bit more. Because they're not like, it's not, there's a difference between an independent and a libertarian. These are not, I mean, there might some of them might be independent, but there's a very big difference between somebody who is attending the Libertarian National Convention and somebody who's just small L libertarian and doesn't like the two-party system and all that stuff. So I mean, I think they're going to need a little bit more.
That of the libertarians, we must work together. Combine with us. You have to combine with us. We cannot give crooked Joe Biden 4 more years. We cannot give crooked Joe Biden 4 more years.
Some booze. Some booze. Shout out to Am. Welcome to the party. So he goes into detail on what his plan is, but they still boot. So yeah, when we get there, I do want to kind of break that down and try to get an understanding of what is it that the libertarians want. So a big, criticism of libertarians is that, they always make perfect the enemy, they always make the good the enemy of the perfect. And so I had it right the first time. They make perfect the enemy of the good. So they'll have somebody who's proposing to cut taxes by like 80%. And they're like, well, no, taxation is theft. Like, bro, like, yes, but also like incremental steps. So, it's I'm hoping that, the booze that he gets, Dave Smith, before Trump came up, Dave Smith did a speech, and he ended it by saying, hey, look, there's 2 distinct groups of people here. There's libertarians and there's people who came to see Trump. And we may not all agree on the same thing, but this isn't some college event where we're going to shut people down. You don't have to agree. But this is a big thing for the Libertarian Party. Donald Trump is here, and he's here to speak to you. And so, I mean, I'm totally on board, or not on board, but I'm totally understanding of somebody who is hardcore libertarian, who is going to attack Republicans in general and Trump from the position of too much government. That makes sense. And we do not have a small government, Republican or Democrat. And so that's the big thing, that he offer them anything that is even close enough to perfect that they're willing to take it. I don't know. Shout out to Dylan Soup in the building. Welcome to the party. Yep, first thing I saw this morning. Trump gets booed at rally or at convention or whatever it was. Like, count the number of seconds of boos and the fervor of those boos versus the frequency and fervor of the cheering. Like, come on, bro. Come on. We know it. Shout out to Indie Film. Welcome, brother. Good to see ya.
We cannot give crooked Joe Biden 4 more years. Today's radical left Democrat Party is not the Democrat Party of years ago, which still wanted big government, but at least believed in tolerance and free speech. Joe Biden. That's
why I call myself a 2015 liberal, because that was the end of liberal, meaning classical liberal. Liberal just came on and took its own thing. Hey, we got Guam Tech in the building. Welcome to the party. Am says, exactly, they did. I saw a video. I saw a video saying they chanted hypocrite, which is not true. They said, end the Fed. Okay, end the Fed. Definitely curious on your opinion on his offering. I thought it was beneficial for the LP. Absolutely. And this is not a Trump thing. This is a libertarian thing. They're just, exactly, Harley. Exactly. They're a very hard crowd to win over. And that's why I personally, as much as I think libertarianism is the ism that encompasses most of what my beliefs are. But because of this, I don't want to be lumped in with the strong L or the big L libertarians who are like, no, we can't have an age of consent, and we can't, it's just private property, and that's it. Like that, there's a reason they only poll at 3%. There's a reason, and that's what Trump goes to bring up. Like, hey, I mean, you can go with me and win, or you can stay losers. Exactly as you want to, exactly as you want to be.
Still wanted big government, but at least believed in tolerance and free speech. Joe Biden's radical left Democrat Party is a fascist movement that wants to throw you in jail if you post a meme they don't like. They want to throw you in
How
jail if
dare
you do
you?
something that
A
isn't
meme?
quite to their liking. What you're
They only do that. They only do that because the left can't meme. I got him. Sorry. Okay.
they don't like. They want to throw you in jail if you do something that isn't quite to their liking. What you're witnessing under Biden is a toxic fusion of the Marxist left, the deep state, the military-industrial complex, the government security and surveillance services, and their partners, all merging together into a hideous perversion of the American system. And that's exactly.
So this is what I want to hear. This is what I want to hear, because the biggest issue of Trump's first run was that he didn't understand, and understandably, he didn't know how deep the deep state was, and wasn't able to drain the swamp as he promised he would. And so I'm listening for, did you learn that lesson? Did you learn that lesson? Are you just like, well, I'm the best and everybody made me not the best, so I'm just going to go and be me and I'm the best? If that's what you're saying, then I don't trust you for anything. But if you're willing to say, okay, yeah, well, things were amazing under me, especially compared to now, but there's more work that needs to be done. And I've learned in the past 4 years, the past 8 years, the past 10 years, I've learned a lot. That's what I personally want to hear. Hey, we got Melted Mind Media. Welcome, brother. Good to see ya.
All merging together into a hideous perversion of the American system. And that's exactly what it is. The fact is that Joe Biden is a threat to democracy. My mission is to liberate our nation from these fascist frauds and to rescue our democracy, to restore our republic, and to evict crooked Joe Biden from the White House so that America can be a free nation once again.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. And again, it's almost, I was tweeting this earlier, it's almost jarring to see a politician speaking, well, how did we get here? Where it's like, oh, wow, he's putting sentences together. But it's almost jarring.
The White House so that America can be a free nation once again. He's the worst in history. The Biden regime censors its critics, spies on its opposition, takes away the bank accounts of U.S. citizens.
Guys, I'm going to hope that my thing is completely wrong. It says we have 12 people in here and 0 likes. If you could do me a huge, huge favor and hit that like button and subscribe. Guys, this is just a short stream that I'm doing, but usually I'm live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday down in the studio with the whole setup, the whole show. Definitely come through. And yeah, exactly. Libertarians argue with each other a lot. It's, as Harley said, it's not an easy crowd to win over. But, I mean, again, I think we're watching him do a pretty damn good job. That's what I think.
Spies on its opposition, takes away the bank accounts of U.S. citizens as an extra form of punishment, persecutes Christians and patriotic parents, and is currently trying to put the leading candidate for president in jail. That happens to be me. While imposing a strict gag order in order to keep me from talking about their crimes and their unconstitutional acts. They want to get rid of the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, due process, the right to a fair trial.
And that's just the start. That's just the start. I said there are also different types of libertarians. Libertarians and anarchists are seen in similar light most of the time, although the difference comes from the economic values, right? And I don't think a lot of people really understand. Thank you so much for the likes, guys. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. when it comes to culture, there's not much of a difference, but there is a very big difference between libertarianism and anarchy. Going to make people remind is a little different. Oh, thank you. So if you are not used to these types of streams, you just hit the 3 dots at the top right-hand corner, and you will get there. It's so quick, it's so easy, and it helps out so very much. Thank you so much. Dylan said, admittedly, he did a good job for the first president to address this convention in 5 decades. 5 decades. And that's exactly to what Harley was saying about how hard they are to please. It's like, you should just be happy that he's there. You should just be happy that the front runner even cares that you exist. And they're still mad. They're still mad. Now, there's something to be said about, having strict values and sticking to your principles. But, you got to play ball a little bit. And said, I definitely see that, Harley. There's a ton of them that want RFK. I can't see why when he's not even a constitutionalist, but they're very divided amongst themselves. There were fists the night before. Oh, really? Wow. So I think it comes down to, again, the even, anarchy and libertarianism are very different. But within libertarianism, there's also I forget the name of the caucus that was in there before. But the Mises Caucus came over and took over. And that's the Dave Smith type of non-woke libertarians. So how there's a whole thing of people like, I'm a libertarian socialist. Like those people are part of the Libertarian Party. And so there is a way to conjure it. I still don't really understand what that means. But that's who are appealing to RFK. Hey, we got Sasha C. Welcome to the party. Just going over Trump's speech from the Libertarian Convention last night. Welcome.
You want to get rid of the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, due process, the right to a fair trial, and the right to counsel, all the while pushing wealth confiscation and waging endless and unnecessary wars all over the globe. Anyone can talk about defending freedom, but I've actually put everything on the line to resist these despots and these stuff.
I mean, that's true. So wait. Are they booing this? Hold on here.
Actually put everything on the line to resist these despots and these stuff.
So some significant boos there about him saying, I put everything on the line to fight these despots. I wonder if the booing is not on the putting up everything, but on the fighting. You say, okay, yeah, you put yourself out there, but you didn't really fight. So I don't know. The election is not until November, but if you're talking about 2020, yes, he did.
And I stand before you tonight as your best hope of defeating the weaponized Biden and the very evil regime that his people, because it's probably not him because he doesn't know where the hell he is, but that his people are pursuing. You can make the difference. The Libertarian Party can make a big difference.
This is where I would be if I'm the Libertarian Party. This is where I'm like, okay, now you're speaking directly to me. Before and everything was, yes, he's here speaking to us, but he is speaking directly now to the people in the crowd, and as opposed to the cameras.
You can make the difference. The Libertarian Party can make a big difference. The Libertarian Party can make a big difference. Together, we can make America freer than ever before for citizens of all backgrounds and all walks of life. We can unleash new hope, optimism, and energy. We can release limited government so that the people can have an unlimited future. United, we will be unstoppable. If we unite, we are unstoppable. I will be a true friend to libertarians in the White House.
Again, why? I don't understand the booing there. I don't understand the booing there. Like, together we can win. What's wrong with that? Because you sure as hell ain't going to win by yourselves, libertarians. As much as I love your ideas, you ain't going to win. So why are you booing your only opportunity to have an influence? Because Biden ain't going to listen to you. He's right there. He's right in front of your face. What are you booing?
Unstoppable. I will be a
we could be unstoppable. If we unite, we are unstoppable, and you boo that.
true friend to libertarians in the White House.
We do.
And I am proud to be the only president in 70 years who started no new wars.
There you go. No booze on
I
that.
took on the
No booze on that.
military-industrial complex. I broke the stranglehold on neocons and warmongers on the Republican Party. And instead of war, I made peace in the Middle East, something nobody thought was possible, and dealt with Kim Jong-un of North Korea, where a nuclear war was guaranteed to start.
Facts. That absolutely was momentous in terms of, at least me personally. I remember, I may have told you this story before, but I remember when he was dealing with Kim Jong-un. And hey, shout out to Jeff Pearson. Welcome to the party, brother. Good to see you. And I can remember they're in, I don't know if it was the Situation Room or whatever, but they're at a long table and Donald Trump's sitting right there. And I remember the words fire and fury. He's like, they're going to, if they do anything, they're going to meet the fire and fury. And I flipped out. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You're talking about a crazy, a desperate leader, whatever it was, Kim Jong-un. Oh my God. And it was my dad who's like, he knows what he's doing. And this was after the fact. He's like, he knew it would work. I was like, there's no way he could have known that was going to work. But apparently he did. There's only so many times that if you see somebody slip on a banana people, there's only so many times you can watch somebody step on a banana people and do a backflip before you believe that the person just knows how to do a backflip. M169. So there was nothing wrong with that statement. Sounds like butthurt ideologues knowing they don't have a chance. Indeed, indeed. Shout out to No Life Allen. Welcome to the party. Said, does liking femboys make you gay? I genuinely want to answer this, but I'm not sure I know what a femboy is. But if it's a male, then yes. Welcome to the party. Again, guys, if you are new here, welcome. I am your host, Lutch, aka The Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of Common Sense, live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, down in the studio. And then I do a lot of these streams as well. Definitely hit that subscribe, comment through, and hang out. We're always talking about fun stuff, having a good time. It's not always the headlines, but always about conversations, discussions, society, all of that stuff. Come and join us. It is a good time. But yeah, I remember that, and that scared the hell out of me. And then I was like, okay, maybe this guy knows what he's doing.
And dealt with Kim Jong-un of North Korea, where a nuclear war was guaranteed to start in a very short period of time if Hillary Clinton became president. You know, that would have been a nuclear war, 100%.
Yep.
And you would have never had the October 7th attack in Israel. Would have never happened. And the attack in Ukraine.
Do you guys agree with that? If Trump was in office, do you think that Hamas would have done October 7th? Put a 1 in the chat if you think yes, and put a 2 in the chat if you think no, it would not have happened under Trump. Let's see, 9. So my sister was convinced he was going to start World War III. I said, shit, me too. That's exactly what I thought. And then when it didn't happen, and then, there was other things. And I was like, oh, he's definitely, going to cause this, that, whatever. And then it didn't happen. And then good things kept happening. Gas prices, it was the anniversary of George Floyd. Was it yesterday or the day before? And they were saying, a bunch of twos. Everybody's like, hell no. Shout out to Auburn Kim. Welcome to the party. Yeah, I really thought that World War III was going to start, and then it makes sense that with America being the at least most influential ally to Israel, be like, hey, maybe you don't want to get into this, or at least and then Hamas knowing that we have their back, because I think Trump, instead of just sending money, gonna be like, no. We're solving this. There was a town hall that he did where they were talking about Ukraine, and the CNN lady was like, "Do you want Ukraine to win or do you want Russia to win?" He's like, "I want it to be settled. I want to find peace. I want people to stop dying. And she was trying to hold him out. But he's like, set me down and we'll make a deal. It'll be settled in 24 hours. And I mean, I don't know if 24 hours, but clearly the one set of people, or at least when we're talking about the candidates, one person wants to solve issues and one person wants to keep them going. Very clearly different things. So I was saying most of their boos are for a couple reasons. The libertarians Trump wants to represent their party are people who have done things to hurt, not help them. The second part is Trump is not addressing their concerns. Yeah, that is true. True. Hey, shout out to AKA 182 said, hell no. No war in Israel with Trump. We got JL in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, man, I'm going to be live all the time now. Now that we got this, bringing new people in. You know, I don't have to set everything up. We still are going to have the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern live show. But yeah, hit that subscribe because I'll just ring the bell because whenever I feel like it, we are going live. Plus, if you are a member of the free Discord server, then you definitely get a notification for every time I go live. So definitely go and do we have any mods here? Well, let me drop a link if anybody wants to join. It is completely free, the Discord server. We do have, if you become a member of the channel, there's actually extra stuff. You get access to the full server. We have an after party after all of the streams and all that stuff. But it's free to join, and we're in there hanging out, having conversations all the time. And it says, yeah, he doesn't get directly into specifics until later. I don't know if he addressed all 10 items. That's right. They had like a list of 10 things they wanted him to address, right? Does anybody know like how I would find that list? What do they call it? Something particular? Jeff said there's a guy at the FBI, Brian Auten, went to kindergarten with him. He is the guy behind all anti-Trump investigations. I blame him for every death and war since 2020. Damn. Come on, Brian. Messing all this ish up. That's what I said. Hamas is still bickering. You know, I want a solution. None of the people over there fighting seem to want a solution. They just want to fight. That's what it seems like. I could be wrong, but I don't think that I can do anything to help. And that's what I've gathered. So it is what it is. Hey, shout out to Ethan Kelly in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Dylan said it's ironic that the guy who brought two conflicts into some peace treaties is the one that's accused of being a warmonger and evil war criminal. Yep. Crazy, crazy, crazy. The FBI hadn't gone after Trump and covered no Ukraine. Yeah, right? Interesting. All right, let's get a couple of these and dive back in. He said Trump doesn't understand libertarians or what they are. His tactics work for Republicans, but libertarians are not Republicans, which he doesn't seem to understand. Yeah, that's what, that's what I'm looking for to see if there is, something else that he can bring to this. All right, let's dive back in. Welcome, welcome, everybody.
The attack in Israel would have never happened. And the attack in Ukraine by Russia would never, ever have happened. Wouldn't have happened. Hundreds of thousands and even millions of people would be living today. I unbound the United States from globalist agreements that surrendered our sovereignty. I withdrew from the Paris Accord. I withdrew from the anti-gun UN arms treaty.
Yeah. Nelly Balance says neither side wants a peaceful ending. And that's why I'm not really going to give my emotional weight to that, because these people don't care. They don't care. Again, guys, if you do me a huge favor, hit those 3 little dots and the like button. It would be amazing if you could do that for me. Guantex said, if you had direct influence on Trump's policies, what would be your number one thing you'd want him to fix right now? Oh, put me on the spot. So number one thing, I'm going to have to come back to this. I don't have anything off the top of my head. I don't know. Yeah, right. So yeah, I mean, yeah, that's obvious, right? I think yep, easy. You got it. It has to be the border. It's so far up there. It's yep. And like, I'm with that. I'm with no IRS, but like we've been living with the IRS and we're all right. I don't think that if this immigration continues as it is, then we're going to survive. So I'm with M69. I say it is a long list, but immigration is number one. All right, let's back this up.
Withdrew from the Paris Accord. I withdrew from the anti-gun UN arms treaty, and I withdrew from the corrupt and very expensive World Health Organization. Not a good thing. I passed the most significant, and this is so important, but I passed the most significant criminal justice reform in history. And perhaps my proudest accomplishment is to have exposed the depth of corruption in the Washington swamp. Thanks to me, the entire world knows that the deep state is real, and the lamestream media is fake. It's fake.
I feel like that was kind of a missed opportunity. I feel like that was a little bit of a missed opportunity. Like that was a strong point, and he didn't. Remember, we were talking about Ron DeSantis and his campaign and how he just didn't punctuate his points. I feel like that was definitely a moment that he could have gotten, a big applause with something, and he just kind of let it fall. China's basically the Soviet Union. I don't know what that means really, but I'll take your word for it, sir. Hey, we got Bonzig in the building. Ahoy! Welcome. I said I would say secure and improve our military and veterans care. Again, I mean that's hugely important. But is that more important than securing the border? I don't know. We got Alien Magi in the building. Welcome. Got a detractor said drowsy diaper Don for jail 2024. Drowsy. Are we playing that game? Because I mean, if we're gonna say between Biden and Trump, one of them is drowsy and sleepy, and a felon is Biden. But hey, to each their own. Welcome to the party. Systemic by design. Welcome. Said I'm not even here at present. I'm in a boot far off the Canary Islands. Well, enjoy it. Robert said securing the border is the most important. I'm tired of these. I don't want to say that out loud. But have you ever been to court, bro? It's boring as hell. Have you ever been to court? It's so boring. Yes, that's what I would fall asleep too. So it says our inability to secure the border has to do with the military. Yes, but not in such a way that the military is too small to handle the border crisis, and therefore we need to build up the military in order to fix the border. If that were the case, then I would completely agree with you. But the fact is, they're different issues. If the military were to be deployed, done. But obviously, that's a big step. We don't want to move that, and so on and so on. But I do agree. I mean, it's definitely connected. But if Guamtang said one thing, he put me on the spot and said, pick one thing. Guamtang said, I would want him to help the economy. I know that's wide sweeping, but I feel like it would fix so many issues we have right now. So many birds with one stone. Right, but I feel like that's like you have to think about it the other way around. The problem with you understand, it's too wide sweeping because what you're saying is that there's this issue, and this issue that are all making the economy bad. And so you're working backwards from, okay, the economy is bad, let's fix that. But it's not like one thing. And so we have to pick one of those things. And whether it's the bail reform and stuff like that, or just the people being here. I gotta stick with M169 on that. I gotta stick with her on that. Systemic by design said Biden is on par in the criminal aspects, on par with Hillary Clinton, if not worse. And Hillary's really, really bad. I don't know if I mean, the Clintons are the Clintons, but definitely up there. So Arian says, just find the hypocrisy funny that he calls Joe sleepy. Meanwhile, he can't stay awake in court. How is that hypocrisy? What's hypocritical about that? Joe Biden can barely stay awake when he's giving a speech. Are you trying to tell me that if Joe Biden was sitting in court for 12 hours that he wouldn't fall asleep? What? Bonseg says, why doesn't Trump want to debate RFK? Uniparty in full effect. I think you're right. Because even though I don't think RFK would be able to pull that many votes away from Trump, but I think it would expose a lot about the Uniparty for sure. Yeah, right. Exactly. He's not hiding in the basement. All right, let's dive back in here.
Lamestream media is fake. It's fake.
See, that's yeah.
A great libertarian who may very well be in the room right now, I believe, but he's a great libertarian, DeRoy Murdoch, who I've become friends with through his writings in the
Shout out. Oh my goodness. I read this out of the corner of my eye. I was like, oh yeah, you're non-binary, cool, whatever. Albert Campbell, I think it's only fair to let you know that I currently identify as non-binary. Biden has just been terrible. Oh, that is a comment of the night. Usually on the comment of the night, oh, I didn't get Morty's treats. So we're gonna give him a piece of muffin. Every single usually we wait for the donations, but this one is so good. This one is so good. I want to treat my co-host Morty here. Come here, Mort. If you guys donate, super chats, cash apps, Venmo, anything like that, Morty, come here. Then it always comes with a little treat for my boy right here. Come here. Yeah. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Oh, look at that. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Every single donation. And since this is such a good comment, we're going there as well. I love it. Thank you. All right, we're going to dive back in. I just had to stop it for that.
DeRoy Murdoch, who I've become friends with through his writings in the American Spectator and numerous other places, wrote an article yesterday in which he mentions just some of the things that make me a libertarian without even trying to be one. That's nice. DeRoy wrote, Donald J. Trump will address the Libertarian Party and its national convention on Saturday. The Libertarian Party should nominate Trump for president of the United States. Whoa, that's nice. That's nice.
So again, when we get the booze, I really want to look into it. So I'm not.
Donald J. Trump will address the Libertarian Party and its national convention on Saturday. The Libertarian Party should nominate Trump for
Morty,
president of the United States. Whoa.
Okay, so just on I think what it is, what we just saw there was, again, he's not addressing anything. He's just saying you should vote for me because you should vote for me. Now he didn't make. I don't think he got there yet, right? But he makes the argument about they're polling at 3%. They're polling at 3%. Da 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 da. But that's not a strong argument. So Sonic by the Side said, long hair versus short hair. Were you treated worse with which one? I know my case, worst case scenario was I had long hair. I was treated like absolute crap. I wasn't really I wasn't really like putting myself out there when I had short hair. So I've always, I'm the Indian Jesus. So I had to wait till my hair was already long. But I haven't really seen a difference. I mean, people will be like, "Oh, you're like a girl, are you gay?" But I don't really care about that. Yeah, no. Robert said, I can't believe these ungrateful swines booed Donald. No, I mean, what is their reasoning? Do they have good reasoning? In their minds, if they do, then we got to address those concerns. So they don't care about Trump. It isn't a MAGA rally. Yep. Donald Trump will save this country. I agree. All right, let's dive back in.
Nominate Trump for president of the United States. Whoa. That's nice. That's
50-50. 50-50. But I will say that in that Dave Smith clip, when he says there's two groups of people here, there's a libertarian and there's the people who are here for Trump. The cheers for the people here for Trump was larger. So I think there's more people there for Trump than there are people there for the Libertarian Party, just based on that one thing. I don't know the metrics at all. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Systemic by design, so placing all hopes on one man, very dangerous. I agree. Who is calling? Not answering that. Okay. Yeah, I agree, but that's why it's not really about one man. It's about this one option, and this one option allows for other individuals to get in place. It's not saying, oh, Trump will save us. I mean, maybe some people believe that. I certainly don't believe that. I believe that there's a lot of work to be done, but he's the only one that will allow us to have that work to be done. Welcome, Gina Marie. Said he did not seem to win the crowd, in my opinion. I mean, fair enough, but I think considering the amount of boos just in this moment compared to the cheers at the end, I think he did. I think he did. So the boos must have been AI. Oh yeah, okay. All right.
That's nice. Only if you want to win. Only if you want to win. Maybe you don't want to win.
No, this is when he goes kind of hard, being like, they're booing him. They're like, all right, only if you want to win. Only if you want to be with me. You know? I don't know about uniting with Canada. Like, maybe they'll unite with us. If that, you can be part of us. We're not going to be part of you. No, I'm not doing that.
Only if you want to win. Only if you want to win. Maybe you don't want to win. Maybe you don't want to win. Thank you, D-Roy. Thank you. No, only do that if you want to win. If you want to lose, don't do that. Keep getting your 3% every 4 years. The reasons for doing so.
Ballsy.
Policy and politics are as solid as the Hope Diamond. D-Roy says this event is very unprecedented, he said. As the Cato Institute president, Peter Gotler, observed in Thursday's Washington Post, it will be the first time think of this, first time in U.S. history that a presidential candidate of a rival party will address the convention of a party that is presumably gathering to nominate its own candidate. Now I think you should nominate me, or at least vote for me, and we should win together.
So he's still on this. I give him credit for sticking on this when we know that that they're not appreciating what he's saying, but he's making a solid point, and this is crucial to the fact that they don't agree with his policies. It's not about his policies; it's about how much they get represented. That is the thing that he's trying to do over here. Hey, shout out to Unwanted Foe, bam, 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 with the $5 super chat. Come here, Mark. Come here. Said Morty, my boy Morty's starving. My dad was actually here earlier giving him food, but that is okay. He can never get enough. He said, thank you so very, very much. And of course, that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. Thank you so very, very much.
Vote for me, and we should win together. You heard those words. Nominate me or vote. Vote for me, because the Libertarians want to vote for me, and most of them will. And it's very important, because we have to get rid of the worst president in history. Yep. And together we will. And without it, there's a risk that we could have 4 more years. We won't have a country left. So what is the purpose of the Libertarian Party getting 3%? What is the reason to take a chance of having this horrible president destroy our country, which he will do?
And again, like the balls to be like, all right, I get that you don't like me, but y'all ain't doing shit. Step up and hop on, just like with the Canada thing. Like, all right, you want to be with us, but we're winning. So you come with us, or sit around and cry. This is exactly the same thing as the Gen Xers that were complaining about the video that I did, where we were initially making fun of the millennial, the Zoomer. You're like, oh my God, Gen X is the worst. And as we watched more of that, it was like, oh, I don't agree, but I understand that there's a reason why Zoomers would look at Gen X, who's like, oh, we've been through everything, we don't need to say shit, we don't care about you. And of course they would think that you're the worst, because they don't know any better. And same thing with the Libertarians here. It's like, of course, they're going to hate you if you don't show them that there's benefit. And if it's not from your policies, it has to be on the practicality that we gonna win. We gonna win. Systemic by design. So there's one thing that could change the dynamics of our society in this via true education, understanding the use of critical thinking skills and applying them. Exactly what this channel is about. Well said, sir. Well said. Yeah, it is. That's a solid brand. And it's not like a throwaway thing. He didn't just like say it and throw it away to like get it. No, he's making a solid point. Y'all are losing. Y'all are losing. You could be you and lose, or you could give a little and win. Just said Jeff Pearson said Trump's got cojones going there. No other candidate would do it. Agreed. I agreed. I believe it's disingenuous critiquing Donald. He provided stability. This generation has no backbone. Well, I mean, I think those are two kind of different things. But first of all, you're really going to hate this channel if Trump wins. Because once we're at a position where Trump is the main guy, I'm definitely going to be critiquing whoever the president is. There's absolutely ways that everybody can be critiqued. So just because you like somebody doesn't mean that you should shut up about the things that are not perfect, because then it shows a lack of confidence in that person. I'm voting for Trump in spite of his flaws, not because I don't think he has any. Zig said, I think Vivek and RFK also spoke too. How's the reaction to their speeches? I don't know. But let's dive back into this one.
What is the reason to take a chance of having this horrible president destroy our country, which he will do in far less than 4 years? It's not going to take 4 years. That is why I'm committing to you tonight that I will put a libertarian in my cabinet and also libertarians in senior posts.
Sounds like cheering to me. Am says, I saw their candidates. It's not happening. Not one. They know it too. But their divide is so great. They addressed it today. Some want to merge with conservatives. Others, not so much. And I don't want them to merge with conservatives, because I think that it's important that we have that separate voice, and that it's conservatives and libertarians working together with different goals, but or at least different approaches to the same goal. Not that they have the same goal, but you know what I mean? It's slightly different things, and so more things can get done. If everybody's just one blob, then that's what we are now. Auburn Kim said, I switched from voting Libertarian in 2016 to voting Trump in 2020 because he earned my vote during his presidency. I'll be voting for him again soon. So like I said, I was a 2015 liberal, and I wasn't really paying attention at the time. And so for the 2016 election, I was like, oh, I'll be a big brain. I'll watch Fox News and CNN and MSNBC, and I'll get all of the information. Yeah, that didn't work. So that turned me into a Bernie bro, and then they screwed over Bernie, and then I felt like Trump was going to start World War III, so I felt like I had to vote for Hillary Clinton. And so once that happened, I was like, okay, nope, I'm not playing this game. I'm not giving anybody my vote unless you earn it. I'm not voting against anybody ever again. And it served me well. So now this is the first time I'm going to vote again in 24 for Donald Trump. Shout out to King Odie in the building. Said Trump 2024. Hell yeah. Put that back in here.
Libertarians in senior posts. Pretty good. That's pretty big. Or you can keep going the way you have for the last long decades and get your 3%, and
he's still going on
again, get another 3%. No, you want to make yourself winners. It's time to be winners. You have a lot of common sense. It's time to be winners.
Why not?
So I'm asking for.
Why not? Hey, shout out to Miles Kinslow with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much. And of course, that gives us a treat for my co-host Morty. There we go. He says, thank you so very much. Welcome to the party, Miles. Where's my mouse here? What does he say? So I don't understand libertarians. Why invite Trump? Right now, you have a weaponized government. Plus, I don't see libertarians do anything to appeal as a broad base, especially in the working class. Yeah, it's just it's very similar to the woke left, except that they don't have the institutional power behind them. It's just that this is how the world should be, and we're going to cry and whine until we get it. And if we don't get it, then we're going to blame you guys for not giving us what we want. It's like, well, this is we're all trying to figure this out. We all want a perfect ideal of whatever, but we can't just say, well, I want this. No, you have to work with other people who don't feel the same way that you do. And yes, libertarianism should be what is best for what's best for everybody doing their own thing. But again, other people want to live different ways. Shout out to Miles Kinslow. Thank you so very, very much. And of course, that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. Let me we'll dive back in for a few minutes and then we'll grab some more chats. I'd like to dive back in when we get a super chat. Thank you so much, Miles.
It's time to be winners. You have a lot of common sense. It's time to be a winner. So I'm asking for the liberation. Well, think of it. I'm asking for the Libertarian Party's endorsement, or at least lots of your votes, lots and lots of Libertarian votes, based on my 4-year, very outstanding presidential record. Much of my record is Libertarian.
I think that a lot of people are, much of my record is Libertarian. I mean, not necessarily. So I get why they're booing there, but again, I think that is the appeal. It's not about the policies; it's about just the fact that you can't win on your own, and we, meaning the MAGA crowd, is going to give you a world that's closer to what you want than the Bidens. Thank you again, Miles. Harley. So the average American owns multi-million-dollar companies. Has multiple criminal. Oh, I guess we're on a different conversation here. All right. Let y'all handle that. Boom, 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 boom. I don't want to. There you go. Morty. Yep, Morty. His name's actually Mordred. So, quick aside. When I first got him, I got him October 2010, and I wanted a cool name. You know, everybody's got Fido and Spike and whatever. And one of my roommates at the time was an English major. It's like, yo, there's got to be like some cool names, you know, in the history of literature. So he's rolling out some names and whatever. And the name Mordred from King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table came up. And yes, yep, that guy. I don't remember the story, but that is exactly it. Mordred, the villain against Merlin from King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. You got it. Again, guys, if you could do me a huge favor, hit those little dots and click a like on this video. It takes 2 seconds and it helps out so very much. Thank you all for being here as well.
Much of my record is Libertarian. As an example, D-Roy. Thank you. Hey, where is D-Roy? Is he here? D-Roy, where are you? He's great. I like D-Roy. I've liked him for a long time, and he is a libertarian. Thank you, D-Roy. Thank you.
So again, I'm hearing what I'm hearing is a lot of kind of chatter when he brings up this guy. I don't remember what he said was the head chair or something, but that says to me that within the libertarian community, that guy is maybe not as widely loved as some other people. Yep. Auburn King. So my husband's boyhood pet was a crow named Edgar Allan Crow. Ed for short. Very nice. I like that. Aim said Trump is definitely not the average American, not by a long shot, but he is one of the people. Absolutely. Very well said. Very well said. He's not the average American, but he is one of the people. He engages with us. Also, compare POTUS children. His aren't buck wild. They have discipline. That is telling. Telling that probably he didn't have a big hand in raising them, but whatever he did, whoever he paid, he did pay them. Well, it goes on to say, Trump is not a perfect man, but he's not a savior either. At the end of the day, that is America. And the last I checked, We, the people, are responsible for our government and holding them accountable. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why I don't think that they like exactly as Harley's saying that he's some savior and that that MAGA is about Trump. Maybe MAGA is about Trump, but the spirit of MAGA is going to remain once Trump is done, whether he's ended or he's just done his he wins and does whatever. Either way, this spirit is going to live on beyond him. And then when they Leroy Jenkins. No, but once he's gone and that spirit remains, people are going to see like, oh, okay, it wasn't just Trump. Like a lot of people think this way. A lot of people think this way.
D-Roy, I've liked him for a long time,
Wait, yeah,
and he is a libertarian. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, where is D-Roy? Is he here? D-Roy, where are you? He's great. I like D-Roy. I've liked him for a long time, and he is a libertarian. Thank you, D-Roy. Thank you. D-Roy wrote, the $1.5 trillion Tax Cuts and Jobs Act was America's largest infusion of tax relief. That's the largest tax relief ever. It sliced individual tax rates for all taxpayers and slashed corporate tax rates from a punishing 35% to a globally competitive, and much more than that, only 21%, way down. It was the largest.
So interestingly, now he's getting into the weeds a little bit. He's getting into the weed, not in the weed, but particulars, which is what I would expect the libertarians to care about, talking about economics. So again, the chatter is telling me that there are some people that are agreeing and some people that are maybe not agreeing, but there's not a big like boo or yeah, which is a good thing. Because remember, a lot of this was booing.
And much more than that, only 21%, way down. It was the largest tax cut in the history of our country. Now you can like it or you don't have to like it. Immediate expensing of business equipment and other reductions fueled the best economy that our country has ever had. For 4 years, we had the best economy our country has ever had. Black and Hispanic unemployment reached the best levels in history. Female joblessness slid to levels unseen before. Black poverty collapsed to record lows. And all of the things, income inequality shrank, and it shrank at levels we've never witnessed. Between 2016 and 2019, real median household income grew. These were the Trump years.
I would have expected either a boo or a cheer at that. I'm surprised the libertarians talking about, oh, we saved all this money, government spending. I thought this was their bread and butter.
And it shrank at levels we've never witnessed. Between 2016 and 2019, real median household income grew. These were the Trump years. 16.4%, the highest ever, to almost $10,000 per family. Think of that.
See, look how lackluster.
Number two.
Look how lackluster. Libertarians, what is it that you want? There's one thing said. This is the shit I can get into from Trump. Yes, he can be bombastic. Yes, he can, throw out a meme. Yes, he can throw out a burn. But he can also do this. Now, again, it should not be a requirement of that we're talking about president and can you put sentences together? Can you understand what you're actually saying? But here we are, and he does. And so I agree with. Are you talking on your own? Yeah. Saying so. Robert was saying the chatter is disrespectful to the two-time president, and we're agrees. So they were loud, and there was noise cancellation. The live was much louder. I don't know. I disagree. I think that, especially, if we're talking about libertarians, I think that, we should be treating people as they are. I think that it's a very, it falls in line with the establishment for us to say, okay, well, we're looking at these presidents not as real people, but just as the presidents because they're all bad. Yes, that is true. Yes, that I do that because we need to, but I'm not going to fault anybody who's going to say, no, this is a bad person. They're all bad. And so I'm not going to cheer for a bad person. Again, politically, I don't think that's the best way to go about things, but I can't hate on it. Who knows? Like I said, libertarians are Skittles and mixed M&Ms. All over the place. All over the place.
Per family. Think of that. Number 2, Trump cut red tape as never before. He promised to kill 2 old regulations
Yay!
for every new one.
Cheers.
And in fact, he ended up actually scrapping 8 for 1, and he was going to 12 to 1 and doing numbers that were unbelievable. Thank you, D-Roy. D-Roy is, and I'm actually just quoting from the article that came out today from D-Roy Murdoch. He said, number 3, Trump fully restrained inflation. We had practically none. Prices were rising just 1.4% as he left office. And this
boo's there. So is he wrong about that? We'll go back and listen. Is he wrong about that? Or is because I can't imagine that if that's true, they're booing that prices went down. They must be saying you didn't do that or something along that. Shout out to Anonymous. Said the speech won't matter when Trump goes to jail in a week or 2. I don't think that's going to happen, but keep your hopes up. Keep your hopes up. Robert said, I respect liberals more than libertarians. It's a tough choice, isn't it? It's a tough choice. Tough choice. Most people booing would be able to do anything worth noting. We had our boy Zippy DSMV. Welcome to the party. So it's like how conservatives hate outsiders and will not work with conservative-leaning people because they like video games and stuff, or happen to be secular. Yep. Hey, we got John in the building, all the way from Grand Rapids. What is going on? What is going on? So are they booing the fact that prices went sky high after he left? That maybe. Okay, so let's go back and see.
And I'm actually just quoting from the article that came out today from D-Roy Murdoch. He said, number 3, Trump fully restrained inflation. We had practically none. Prices were rising just 1.4% as he left office. And this was a fraction of the 9% inflation that lying Joe Biden repeatedly claims Trump handed him. No, he said we handed him no. It went up to 9% after he took over the White House and created all the inflationary acts. He did a horrible job.
There's no move there. It sounded like it. It sounded like they were booing the fact that it went up, but then he just said it again. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to read these damn libertarians. What is it that you want, libertarians? Hey, shout out to the Beavis Frequency. Welcome, welcome. Did you see RFK on Tim Pool talk about how Trump was bought off by Pfizer and Bill Gates and had RFK removed from Trump's pharma team? Did not see that. Trump talking about how Trump was bought off by Pfizer and Bill Gates, and RFK removed from Trump's pharma team. I believe it. I believe it because if you remember at the time before, like when all the COVID stuff started, like it was flipped. It was the conservatives being like, yeah, we need to mask up, we need a vaccine, we needed this, and it wasn't until the Democratic establishment came and it was mandates and this and that and like all that stuff. So I mean that makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. I don't know for sure. Like I would have to read more about it to see what my opinion would actually be. But that does make sense from his perspective. I said somebody hates free speech. Don't talk about Trump Jesus, their Lord, their MAGA Lord and Savior. Loser. Yeah, I can't. I mean, yeah, if you're so bad that you will only clap for the exact thing that you agree with, or you'll boo everything else. I agree. That's kind of pathetic. Kinda pathetic.
White House and created all the inflationary acts. He did a horrible job. The 30-year mortgage rate, as Trump departed, was 2.77% versus the almost 9% today. And you, by the way, even if you pay 9%, you can't get any money. There's no money available. Trump's drill, baby, drill approach fostered energy independence, which we've never had before. Low fuel and electricity prices helped moderate inflation and propel economic growth. But all of these things have now skyrocketed. They have skyrocketed to levels never seen. Inflation has hit us harder than it's probably ever hit us before, and people are suffering because of it. Trump promoted parental rights and school choice. Trump's education department repealed the so-called guidance letter that turned on-campus sexual harassment accusations into de facto criminal convictions. You know all about that.
We do.
Who
You
else would
remember, but all the way back with the Duke lacrosse team, it was an issue that the universities were playing too large of a role in what should be just straight up law enforcement. Like they are a college is not a law enforcement agency.
De facto criminal convictions. You know all about that. Who else would do that for you? Trump restored due process to the he said, she said minefield for your children. I know many, many people, what they've gone through with that is they've gone through hell. In a powerful blow, Trump required universities to respect the First Amendment lest they lose their federal funds. I said, you don't respect the First Amendment, we're taking away all of your federal funding. Trump torpedoed Obamacare's individual mandate and got rid of many of its taxes. Medical price transparency empowered consumers to shop for health care services and compare costs. And this is one of the biggest things that's happened. And it's reducing the price of drugs and everything related to drugs and medical care at levels not seen before. This will soon be happening. The competition is now slowing what were ballooning healthcare expenses. Trump signed right to try. Terminally ill patients now can receive experimental and possibly life-saving treatments.
Word up. So what is I'm saying? I won't lie. I'm still mad about that and was hoping it was an issue to be addressed in his second term. We're talking about the what Beavis was saying. Yeah, I mean, again, this is the things that we acknowledge that are not good, are not perfect, are not great, that allowed allowed what came next to really take advantage of all of us. If we were in a better position, maybe that would be something that is more relevant in the specific choice of just who should we vote for. But it's certainly so it doesn't rise to the level of changing. Well, I'm not going to vote for him because of that. But it absolutely, like I was saying before, that is absolutely some of the things that, if he wins and as he goes through his term, if he doesn't address these things, he's going to hear about it. He's going to hear about it. Yeah, I don't want to say that out loud, but you might be right. You might be right. Auburn Kim, so I thought he did a good job comparatively. He deserves my support this time. I'm with you. I'm with you. I wonder if that damn sign keeps covering him. This isn't Bill Maher set. Good one. Good one. Good one. Good one. Shout out to Bill Maher and his terrible camera setup. Where are we? Harley said, I really haven't heard Trump talk about the COVID situation that much. He talked about the shutdowns, but what about Pharma, Fauci, and WHO? Why is he quiet about it? Those are the kinds of questions we should be asking. And I want to know: is he going to is he going to do anything about Fauci? Is Fauci even going to get fired? Are we? Yeah, that needs to be addressed for sure. And again, he was talking about it earlier on, but he was like, "Oh, I did warp speed." It's like, okay, yeah, like, okay, that was good, but then it was used for really, really, really bad things that you didn't stop or you didn't help to stop. So, kind of a wash, if not a loss on your end. Yeah, like the vaccine commission. Bill Gates talked him out of forming it, according to Bill Gates. But Am brings up a good question. How would he know? RFK is inconsistent and twists truths. He's trying to be relevant. You never know. It's hard, and especially as we get closer to November, the trust in anybody is going to go down, 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 down. Which is why it's so important that all year and all the past, however long, we've been paying attention to these things to make sure that when somebody says something in November or October or August, and if it conflicts with something they said in January, well, hey, wait a minute, we covered that. I remember that. Why, as opposed to just listening to everything at face value, because we know that all of them are willing to lie. Any of them and all of them.
And when at death's door, what do these suffering Americans have to lose? What do they have to lose, you ask? They are so thousands and thousands of people are now living because of right to try. Trump nominated some 300 constitutionalist federal judges, a record, including a seldom seen 3 Supreme Court justices in one presidential term. Very rarely seen before, if ever. Trump canceled and defunded federal diversity, equity, and inclusion programs and other state-funded racism schemes. The VA Mission Act, which Trump signed.
Yeah, so we'll go back to that. Harley's saying he did warp speed for a vaccine that was used for harm. People have been traumatized from it, as we've seen. Even just the other day, on Friday, when we were just doing our TikTok review, we take the masker in 2024. People are still not only masking, but showing that, like, hey, virtue signaling with masking and shaming other people for not masking. Cooked. And she's saying, is Trump going to make them pay reparations for it? Certainly not. Certainly not. But again, that is something that is not being ignored. That's something that's being, I don't want to, what's the word? Accepted? Not accepted, but I don't know. It's just the idea that, yes, we can have issues with Trump. We can have issues with what he did. We can have issues with everything. That doesn't mean yeah, okay. There you go. Yeah, all that's being overshadowed by the good that he can do. That's a good word. Thank you. Zippe said, "What's Vivek lied on?" I don't think he even has to with all the issues he targets. Good point. Good point. Jay said Vivek is never going to be elected. I don't like playing the race card, but let's be honest, he's a Republican. That's never going to happen anytime soon. Yep. I wish this wasn't the case. I wish I could say that this is some wokey take. And at first I thought it was. And then I really saw that people were like, oh damn, no, you really just don't brown skin is just a no. Okay. People were, what was the phrase that I heard all the time? A legacy American or old stock. Like, get the fuck out of here. Indie films. Does anybody find it funny that Fauci got paid by the pharmaceutical companies who happen to make the therapeutics to fight the same types of viruses that he was paying to have enhanced? I find it horrifying. I find it ironic. I find it hypocritical. Funny? No, not really. Not really at all. Shout out to Miss Options. Trump did take the vaccine. But again, he's old and fat. So regardless of all of this stuff, I still think it would have been reasonable for Trump to take the vaccine. That alone doesn't do anything. But shout out to the pure bloods. Put a 1 in the chat if you are a pure blood. Let's go. Welcome, Miss Options. Harley said, the main issue I have with Vivek is his foreign policy takes. They don't make a lot of sense. I mean, they. And can you be specific? What policy didn't make sense? Robert. That's a soft warning. Well, okay, but see, you can't say this right after you said this. Why? Why did you need to say this? You could very easily just say Trump is better, and you had to bring his race into it. For what reason? I agree that we collectively aren't racist and whatever, but this is the reason to bring this up is sus. And if you think that other people don't look at shit like this and think, whatever you're wrong. You're wrong.
Racism schemes.
Oh no!
The VA Mission Act, which Trump signed, lets military veterans receive federally funded medical care in the private sector if delays prevent their treatment in VA hospitals. In other words, if they're delayed, they can go out and get a private doctor. We pay the bill. They go out, they get a private doctor, they get better. People were waiting online for 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, and not anymore. Trump signed a measure that streamlined dismissals of federal bureaucrats who abuse America's beloved veterans. He got NATO countries to pay hundreds of billions of dollars more for their protection. The only president who did so in substantially reducing what we were forced to pay. We got them to pay, other nations to pay hundreds of billions of dollars that they weren't paying. No other president was able to do that.
I'm going to disagree with you here, Harley said. Plus, Vivek is big pharma since he himself started a pharma company. So he started a biotech company, which is not the same thing as a pharma company. He was in that world, but that wasn't that his first company. And then it's like the same way that Donald Trump was in the in the real estate. Like, I don't think I don't put that. I don't there. And I'm with Ann. Like, yeah, what the fuck? Vivek is my favorite, and he is not pro big pharma. Actually, yeah, that's. So you can act like, oh, I don't know, sorry, I didn't know it was such a big deal. Okay, well then don't get mad when people are pointing out things that you say that they don't that is sus. And just take the L. Just take the L. Everybody now has said it. The brown guy said it. The white people said it. The Christians have said it. The women have said it. The men have said it. Just take the L.
Hundreds of billions of dollars that they weren't paying. No other president was able to do that. Reducing very substantially what we paid. During the Trump administration, we had peace through strength. No wars other than the complete and total destruction of ISIS. And DeRoy ended by saying that most libertarians would say this is a non-exhaustive roster of accomplishments like no other, that it truly shines. So again, DeRoy, thank you very much. DeRoy Murdoch, I appreciate it. We could not have written that better. And as you say, there were many other things we did that were quite libertarian also. So I want to thank you very much. That was a great article. Thank you. DeRoy Murdoch, thank you.
DeRoy Murdoch.
When I return to the White House,
all right,
we will break the deep state grip on our democracy once and for all.
How?
I did far more than any other president in that regard. As an example, I inherited James Comey, a terrible, terrible person from the Obama administration.
Okay, so I hear the boos already coming as he's shifting the blame. Take just like people in the chat here, when you have a bad take the L. Don't double down.
I inherited James Comey, a terrible, terrible person from the Obama administration. And very early on, I fired him and lots of others at the FBI, in addition to thousands and thousands of corrupt and unnecessary people throughout our government. And now we are going to finish the job. We will root out the sickness that has taken over our Justice Department, our FBI, and other agencies. Our goal will be nothing less than the rebirth of fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law. Since the day he took office, Joe Biden has worked to persecute political dissidents, including conservatives, Catholics, and other Christians and opponents of his weaponized state. Right now, the Biden DOJ is trying to put Christians in prison for 11 years for the crime of singing hymns.
So what I'm seeing here is that he's kind of just he's realizing that he doesn't have a MAGA crowd, and typically he's going to go off script. He's making jokes. He seems like he's just barreling through this. We did speed it up a little bit, but he's barreling through this. He's not going off script. I think it's good for him to see that there's people whose votes are on the table, but they don't like me. That's a very big thing to Trump. Do you like me? He wants to be liked. And so for him to be here and say, okay, I can win, they can give me their vote, but they're never going to like me. The only way is to do the things that they want me to do. Even said, big Vivek fan, but if it's not Trump, the left will never stop the lawfare and lies against the right. And for the matter, but if it's not Trump, the left will never stop the lawfare and lies against the right. And for the matter, I don't know what that means, but I'm sorry. I tried.
Christians in prison for 11 years for the crime of singing hymns. The moment I win the election, I will appoint a special task force to rapidly review the cases of every political prisoner who has been unjustly persecuted by the Biden administration so that I can sign their pardons or commutations on day one.
All right, let's. We got our update. Let's try again. Okay, so big fan, but if it's not Trump, the left will never stop the lawfare and lies against the right. And for that matter, libertarian. Oh, okay. So yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you that like I think again, why it's not about Trump is the savior. It's just that everybody else is barreling down this road of destroying America. And even if Trump is completely just going to keep things at a standstill, then that's better than barreling over a cliff. That's better than barreling over a cliff. Because right now we are barreling towards the edge of a cliff. So the options are continue doing that or not do that. And so for me personally, I'm not speaking as the libertarians, for me personally, it almost doesn't even matter what his policy positions are because of the cultural aspect of the ruining of the underpinning of what our society actually is. The laws, the policies, they don't matter if people don't have trust in the institutions and the laws themselves. That's why I see this election as existential to the country.
So that I can sign their pardons or commutations on day one.
Free Ross. I'm not super familiar. He's about to talk to you about it. All these signs. They say free Ross. I'm not super familiar, but I think he's about to talk a little bit about it.
And I will ensure that libertarians are helping to lead that task force. You'll be on that task force, many of you. As everyone knows, it will be my great honor to pardon the peaceful January 6th protesters, or as I often call them, the hostages. They're hostages.
Let's get some cheers there. Let's go.
People treated so harshly or unfairly in our country's history. This abuse will be rectified, and it will be rectified very quickly. And if you vote for me on day one, I will commute the sentence of Ross Ulbricht to a sentence of time served.
Does anybody have like a TLDR on who he is? I don't really want to do a whole thing to see who he is. But I don't know him specifically. Does anybody have a TLDR on who this guy is or what he did?
Of time served.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Give me a second here. We'll look it up.
He's already served 11 years. We're going to get him home. We're going to get him home. I'm proud that I have put forward a detailed plan.
Where am I? Anne said created Silk Road. That's the Ross guy that they're talking about. Cool. All right. See, that's all we need. A little TLDR. Thank you so much.
He's already served 11 years. We're going to get him home. We're going to get him home. I'm proud that I have put forward a detailed plan to smash the censorship and industrial complex and restore free speech. On day one, I will sign an executive order banning federal agencies from colluding to censor the lawful speech of American citizens. And we will remove the rogue bureaucrats who conspire to take away your First Amendment freedoms. We will do that quickly.
There we go.
I will once again slash a record number of liberty-destroying regulations. I will stop Joe Biden's plan for the largest tax. He is going to give you the largest tax increase in the history of our country. And I will end that. And I will make the Trump tax cuts the biggest in the history of our country. We will make them permanent tax cuts. We will
There we go. That's a cheer. And so that's kind of Ross Ulbricht. There you go. Thank you. But what we're seeing here, this is why I feel like I can say he won over the Trump, but won over the Trump. He won over the crowd because it wasn't, as we've said, it's not a MAGA rally. It's not like he went into enemy territory. And lots of cheers. So I think that this is a win. I don't think, here's the other thing. I don't think that you can watch this speech in full. You see a lot of clips of, him saying a line and then them booing, and then that's the end of the clip. You see a lot of that. But I don't think that you could present this as a whole and think that this is bad for Trump, specifically when we're comparing it not to what do the libertarians think, but could Biden even do this in the first place? Does he have the mental capability to even do this? I don't think so.
Stop the massive Biden inflation tax, a stealth tax by which crooked Joe Biden is printing trillions and trillions of dollars and plundering it for the cronies and political friends that he's got all over Washington. And we will cancel the Green New Deal, which is the Green New Scam.
The Green New Scam, let's go.
We will terminate crooked Joe's insane electric vehicle mandate. And we're going to bring your energy costs down by 60 and 70% because we will drill, baby, drill. We're going to drill, baby, drill.
Oh, there we go. They like that.
Illegal government discrimination, return to a society based on individual rights and individual merit.
And the Fed, and the Fed, and the Fed, and the Fed.
And I will also stop Joe Biden's.
As Am was talking about before, they had the noise cancellation. You heard how they just turned up the crowd when they were chanting. And so when Robert was saying, like that's mad disrespectful, they were not being quiet. I personally disagree that it is. I mean, I guess it's not necessarily, I wouldn't disagree that it's disrespectful. I just don't think that it is a thing that you shouldn't do if you don't respect him. Like, I think it's reasonable to not respect Trump. Let's grab this from Zippy Raw. Well, both of y'all. But yeah, nobody, I don't think anybody's surprised that the mainstream media lied. Harley said, I think Trump will learn from this, hopefully, to understand that there are people who don't care about what he has done, but what he will do. Yes, well said, well said. I think that is that's a good point. If he can understand that. I think it's a step too far for us to expect him to like apologize. But I don't think that's gonna happen. Zippy said, drill, baby, drill means foreign oil refined outside the nation. Better something than nothing, right? Making perfect enemy of good. Robert says, incredibly, I know that. I already addressed that.
And I will also stop Joe Biden's crusade to crush crypto. We're going to stop it. I will ensure that the future of crypto and the future of Bitcoin will be made in the USA, not driven overseas. I will support the right to self-custody to the nation's 50 million crypto holders. I say this with your vote.
They love their crypto.
I will keep Elizabeth Warren and her goons away from your Bitcoin.
Good.
And I will never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency. I will also immediately end the humanitarian disaster on our southern border. We will end it quickly. You cannot have capitalism and also have open borders because you will soon be turned into a socialist nation, then a poor nation, and finally you will be a failed nation. By ending the border crisis, which we will do immediately, we will save freedom, prosperity, and capitalism in America. And before I even arrive at the Oval Office shortly after we win the presidency, I will have the horrible war between Russia and Ukraine settled. So we quit spending hundreds of billions of dollars to fight other people's wars.
Remember, I was talking before. Welcome if you're just joining us. I am Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Remember, I was talking about his town hall where the CNN lady was trying to get him to say who should win the war, Ukraine or Russia. And he's like, I don't care. It's not about winning. It's about settling this. It's about peace. It's about stopping people from dying. If we're going to be America world police, that's the attitude that we need to have. That's the attitude that we need to have.
So we quit spending hundreds of billions of dollars to fight other people's wars, and so that we start immediately saving thousands and thousands of lives. And I am committed to restoring peace and restoring stability and to stopping Joe Biden's march to World War III. You know, you're being...
Good question. I always say he's going to hold that same energy when it comes to Israel, right? I sure as shit hope so. because I will be very vocal if he's not. I will be very vocal if he's not. Now, absolutely, those are two different scenarios, and there's different reasons for this, that, and the other. Fair. But we shouldn't be involved in either of them, and we definitely shouldn't be helping Israel escalate. I'm right there with you. I am right there with you. He better.
And to stopping Joe Biden's march to World War III. You know you're being led right into World War III. You know that. You're going to have World War III, and it'll be a war like no other because of the weaponry, the massive weaponry. It will be a war like no other. We will stop it. And I'm the only one that's going to be able to stop it. I will protect American sovereignty from the creeping hands of global government. And as we speak, Joe Biden's minions are in Geneva, secretly negotiating to surrender more of our liberty to the World Health Organization. Drafts of the agreement show that they want to subjugate America to foreign nations, attack free speech, empower the World Health Organization to redistribute American resources. They're going to take our money and send it all over the world to other countries that we need for our own citizens in the event of a pandemic.
Wait a minute. The U.S. government, the Democratic Party, you're telling me that they're going to send our money outside the country? I don't think so. I don't know, man. That's kind of crazy. I don't.
And it can happen again. I am hereby demanding that Joe Biden submit these monstrosities to the Senate as treaties. They have to be submitted as treaties because he cannot be allowed to do that. Destroy our country, he is. If he does not, I will rip them up and throw them out on day one of the Trump administration. On education, we will cut federal funding for any school pushing Marxist and communist race and gender theories on our children.
Yeah, any film, a good point. Any film with a good point here. So the difference between this and the left interrupting is that the libertarians are booing and then they settle down and let the person speak. If they like or dislike, they applaud or boo. Yeah, I think that's perfectly fine because exactly as you're talking about, there's a difference between trying to shut down the speech and expressing your own speech. And the fact is, we, meaning the people watching, we, whether you're at the convention, we, whether you're Trump, or we, whether you're, anybody, it's good to have an understanding of how do you feel about the things that I'm saying right now. Don't just cheer because I used to be the president. Like, if you don't like this stuff, then I won't do this stuff. How else am I supposed to know? So I think, yeah, I completely agree. I think there's a big difference between booing and trying to shut speech down. WHO treaty, yeah. Emilcian said no lies detected so far. WHO treaty is a step to the one world government. Yep. We all know it.
And communist race and gender theories on our children.
Yay!
We will keep men out of women's sports. And I will not give 1 penny to any school that has a vaccine mandate or a mask mandate.
Let's go.
We will shut.
Am says that's been going on for a while. I hope they're going to sign it, but Biden probably will. I don't care. That's good. If it's good, let's do it. I don't want to getting into like, oh, well, this is going to be a win for Biden. I don't care because that's a win for America. Unless it's such a big win that it's going to take Trump's lead out, then good. Anything that's good for Biden right now is good for America. Anything that's good for Biden right now is going to make Trump have to be that much better. How is it bad? Oh, I see what you're saying. No, I misunderstood. I thought you were, my bad. I thought we were talking about the protections. My bad. Okay. I misunderstood what you said. My bad. I thought we were talking about not the treaty itself, but okay. I don't know what I was thinking. Stupid. My bad. Moving on. Harley said, I don't think libertarians are unreasonable, just unorganized. A little bit like my brain right now. Until they can unify under one goal, they're going to struggle. Yeah, I think the problem is that they do have one goal, but their one goal is too, narrow. We got to follow the non-aggression principle. Okay. But there's so many ways to do that. That's the point of the non-aggression principle. So you have to have something more concrete. Absolutely. MX9 said Britain has already refused to sign the WHO treaty. All right, well, go Britain. Go Britain. Let's hope that, now that I understand what we're saying, let's hope that we can keep Biden from signing that shit. There we go.
Well, that has a vaccine mandate or a mask mandate. We will shut down our out-of-control federal Department of Education and give it back to the states and local governments. I will return power to the states, local governments, and to the American people. I am a believer in the 10th Amendment. I will always defend religious liberty and the right to keep and bear arms.
There we go. There we go. That's all we need. Again, it's just like, these are such basic things. But because everything has gone to shit, the bar is pretty low. The bar is pretty low. And so that's why, again, talking from the perspective of looking at the libertarians, and it's like, what else do you want? Again, the options are continue barreling towards the edge of a cliff or not. Any film said the WHO treaty is the world government run by the unelected. Yeah, I know. I had a brain fart. I'm sorry. That was a stupid moment. I didn't understand what I was reading, and I got it mixed up. I was not, at no point did I think that the WHO treaty was good. I just was mixed up on what was being said. All right. So against the WHO treaty, no matter who signs it. Given that there could be something that is good for America, but that if Biden takes credit for it, then it hurts Trump's. If that were the case with something, I would still be in favor of Biden doing that. Clearly, that's not the case. I don't know what I was talking about, but that's what we're talking about.
Right to keep and bear arms. And I will secure our elections.
How?
So in conclusion, to every freedom lover here today, and there are a lot of them, and all across our land, I say, this is no ordinary election. Freedom itself is at stake. This will be the most important election in the history of our country. So if you want to strike a blow against the corrupt system in Washington, if you want to send a message to all of the people who want to take away your liberty, then right now in this election, we need your help. We need your support. When I'm in the White House, you will always find an open door to the Oval Office. Together, we are taking on some of the most menacing forces and vicious opponents our people have ever seen. But no matter how hateful or corrupt the communists and criminals we're fighting are, and they are vicious and they are corrupt, you must never forget, this nation does not belong to them. This nation belongs to you, belongs to you.
I mean, that's a strong note to end on. Harley Rose, so I'm going to be honest, not sure how the removing of the Department of Education is going to go. We've seen what happens after what's happening after Roe v. Wade. It's going to be a roller coaster for sure, and I agree with you. But I think that is a reflection of how bad things are and how much of a house of cards everything is. Like exactly the point. One, I mean, obviously, abortion's a big deal. We overturn Roe v. Wade, and it throws the country into disarray. Well, that shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be the case that one thing can throw the entire country into disarray like that. And so I think the fact that that is already the case is going to require that we go through some hardships, some rough times, some people ain't gonna be happy, and get to a place where we are able to rebuild. We're able to bring things down to a level that they can be shifted and changed in a way that doesn't drastically change people's life immediately, but in the long term puts us on the right trajectory. I hope. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's what I hope for. And says it removes our constitutional rights as a first priority and allows the WHO to declare and impose pandemic classifications and requirements. Johnson was the one that proposed. It's still being negotiated per the UK. Yeah, no bueno. No bueno. Any film said the DoD doesn't actually educate anyone. Since its creation, every educational milestone has gone in the toilet. No child left behind, guys. No child left behind. Shout out to Marjorie Walcott. Welcome to the party. So he's offering to bring the Libertarian Party into his cabinet. If that's true, have they had a better offer? Nope. Nope. But you know, libertarians, they're very what's the word? Like, again, they have their one principle, and it's like, oh, taxation is theft. So if you're in favor of a 1% tax, then you're evil. Like, guys, let's move closer to zero. How about closer to zero? I don't think they've gotten a better offer. I do not think so. Welcome to the party. Let's see how our boy Donnie finishes up here.
This nation belongs to you. Belongs to you. This is your...
And real quick, guys, again, if you have not already, please do hit the like button. It's just the 3 dots at the top of the screen, and hit a like. It does so much to help the channel, and it is free. Of course, it's also free to subscribe, ring the bell, and join the Discord server. It's completely free. We're in there 24/7 hanging out. But if you become a member of the channel, that only starts at $2.99 a month. If you're a member of the channel, you get full access to the Discord server, which includes our voice channel after party. So after every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday stream, we get to go in there and continue the conversation where we don't have to worry about the YouTube censors, and you're not stuck behind your keyboard. You're actually on screen with me and everybody else. It's a good time. Come and join us.
Home, this is your heritage, and our American liberty is your God-given right. 2024 is our final battle. With your help, we will demolish the deep state. We will expel the warmongers from our government. We will drive out the globalists. We will cast out the communists, Marxists, and fascists. We will throw off the sick political class that hates our country. And we will drain the swamp, and we will restore and rescue our country from these tyrants and villains once and for all. Ladies and gentlemen, the great liberation of America begins on November 5th, 2024. It will be the most important day in the history of our country. And the forgotten man and woman will be forgotten no longer. I want to thank you. I want your support. Again, you can either nominate us and put us in the position or give us your votes. I would say nominate or give us your votes, but we want libertarian votes because you stand for what we stand for, and don't waste a vote. And don't allow the worst president in the history of our country to come back and do the final destruction.
All right, let's hear. They're going to cut it off, but there is 5 seconds here, and I think they cheer.
Of America. Thank you very much, everybody. God bless you. God bless you.
Oh, they played music. We couldn't hear it. We couldn't hear it. All right, so that was the Donald Trump speech from the Libertarian National Convention. Any films here says, do libertarians think they'd be better off with Dave Smith as Secretary of State or Biden in the White House? I agree with Marjorie. That is a great question. I think that they think Dave Smith is Secretary of State or Biden in the White House. I mean, well, yeah, I mean, it's so, when you put it like that, it's so jarringly like obvious. It's so jarringly obvious. It is a little disheartening that you know, they're so obstinate, but it's a sobering look at the landscape. Oh, what am I doing here? So it's a sober look at the landscape. There's a lot to be done. There's a lot of people to convince. There's a lot of issues from the past. The issues need to be from the past need to be addressed. You know, we're now getting into the summer. You remember when everybody was announcing and doing their rounds on the podcast, and they were just kind of saying the right things, and they weren't really getting into a policy and how you're going to do this, how you're going to do that. And we're like, okay, that's fine. That's fine. We don't, you need to give away the game plan right now. You just got, all you have to do is say the right things, and you're saying the right things. So DeSantis, you messed up. Vivek, you're doing great. Trump, you're doing great. Biden, you're being Biden, whatever. And then, you know, we can see Nikki Haley was saying the things that we would expect from a war hawk establishment, rhino, neocon. Now we're getting into the time where it's like, okay, you've been saying that you're going to do this, and this. How? As we get closer and closer to November 5th, I'm going to be a lot more or a lot less patient with you giving me platitudes and saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Unless you have a plan as to how you're going to do that, then it means nothing to me. Guys, if you have not already, thank you so very much for hanging out with me. I really do enjoy these vertical streams, bringing some new people, checking stuff out. But again, I am live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, down in the studio with the full setup and everything. If you have not already, please, 1 like equals 1 vote for Donald Trump. Do it up. You guys know I would do it for you, so please help out the channel. And I will see you guys tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so very much for hanging out. That is Morty over there. Thank you so much for feeding him. Real quick, let's shout out our boys. We had Unwanted Foe with a $5 super chat. And we had Miles Kinslow, sponsor of the stream, with a $10. Thank you so very, very much. I really do appreciate it, guys. Every single second that you're spending here with me means the world. So thank you. I really, really, really do appreciate it. Until tomorrow, I am out of here. Peace.